Alrighty, hello. This is going to be a VOD review for, so I actually haven't watched this video yet. What is this guy's name? Okay, this is a VOD review for Kokusen. He wants help with Victor. He just wants, like, Victor tips. So I'm just going to be going over one of his games here on, the Zep map, everybody's favorite map. My apologies, Kokusen. I have not watched the VOD yet, so I might move kind of slow, because this is literally going to be my first time watching it as I record. So just bear with me if things are a little slow. Let me turn this sound down. Yeah, let's just go through. Let's just see how you play. And I'll kind of speak on things as I see them. Otherwise, I'm going to remain kind of quiet. I will say, okay, there's actually kind of like a niche. Well, it's not. I don't know if it's niche, but I will say, right, like fighting on elevation differences on while you're playing Victor is like really fucking bad. Actually, like if you can, try to avoid fighting from high to low ground or vice versa. Because Victor actually can't, like, if you throw your mine here, you actually can't zap it from where you're standing. So any elevation change is like really bad for Victor. Just try to avoid fighting on any part of any map where there's an elevation change. So like for Brick here, if you want to fight him, step back a little bit, stand here, and then throw out your mine, and then that way you can actually pop it. Because when you're on a elevation change, he throws the mine out too far, and you literally just can't reach it with your autos. So like in this, like I said, just in this specific case, just step back, then throw your mine, and that'll work out a lot better. Just kind of something to keep in mind when you're playing Victor. Elevation changes suck, and unfortunately, that map just kind of sucks for a lot of characters for that reason. I would say right here, like, like you should have punished these people. Throw out a mine this way, right? Part of one reason why Victor's so good on Zep map is because there's all this fucking like sticky shit that people have to walk in, and so you can put a mine like on the corner of the Dominion point, and then the enemy literally has to walk into it, right? It's like this is like the range of a Victor mine. I'll draw it in yellow. Like that's the range of a Victor mine, and so if you're an enemy, right, it's like all of a sudden you can't go this way. You've got to go around, either under it or over it, and you're in all this fucking sticky shit. So it just takes a long time, and if the enemies do decide to go through this Victor mine, maybe they're gonna like try to burn it down before you can pop it. You can literally just stay back. And when they go to attack this Victor mine, you can literally just throw out another one and punish the end lag from them trying to burn your mine, and you hit them anyways. Or if they don't go for an attack, and if they try to go through your mine, you just straight up pop the mine, and then they take a fuck ton of damage, and they get knocked back, off the map, back into the fucking sticky zone. Like, Victor's really good on Zep map. You really want to be, like, looking out for situations like this, where if people are in the sticky zone, be placing your mines, on the edge of the dom point. Like, this is really where Victor shines. It's so much zoning potential. If you don't go for that, like, it's just you're not using Victor to his fullest potential. So like, yeah, right here I would not have gone for this mine. It's not really doing anything. Oh yeah, also I noticed you're not running the you only have 2 charges of your skill, and you're not buffing people. Make sure for Victor you want the skills that give you an extra charge of your mine, and then you want the other skill that gives you that makes it so that when you pop your mines, you give a damage and movement speed buff to your teammates. Those are the 2 best abilities on Victor to run. Make sure that you swap those as soon as you can. And that's good. See, this is what I was talking about earlier. Right, they're in the sticky zone. You put your mine on the corner of the map, pop it. You know, you have all of this fucking pressure. Like, look how big Vic mines are, right? Like, that's huge, huge range. That's really good. You know, do shit like that. And I will say too that this is probably the #1 mistake that a lot of Victor players make. Is that they use their air skill way too much as a crutch. You really have to be careful about how you use air skill. Like, air skill here was really bad. Let me go back. Hold on, let me go my mouse for this. Because yeah, like right here, you're in a really good spot right here. You're like, this is really good positioning. Because we've got like Brick right here. Is he in an attack animation? No, he's not. But yeah, like you're literally chilling right here. You know, just stand here, throw out a mine. You've got 2 charges of mine skill. You can literally throw out a mine and be punishing this Brick. And yeah, like instead you opt to like air skill over here, and now like this is so much more awkward than if you had just, you know, if you had just stayed over here. Like, you get to play around all this extra fucking space on the stage, but now you're over here. And all of a sudden, this opens up Wolfgang to attack you. Like, Brick could come turn on you. You know, we got Master Cat coming as well. He could come get you. And now you also have to fight around this elevation change, which, as I talked about earlier, is not good for Victor. It's, like, basically unplayable. You can't pop your mines from high ground to low ground unless you, like, really get close and put yourself in a really bad spot. So that's just something to think about, right? Like, if you don't need to air skill, don't air skill. Like, really? In my opinion, after the end lag nerfs on Victor's skill should literally just be used like if you need to run away, right? Like it's an escape tool for really sticky situations. But like this was just a careless use of skill, and it puts you in a terrible spot, and I think you get punished for it. Yeah, like Wolfgang comes, Brick turns on you. You know, Master Cat's now coming. And all of that could have been avoided if you just used your skill more intelligently. And like, imagine this situation, right? Like, look how clumped these people are, right? They're like pretty grouped up. The Wolfgang, the Brick, and the Master Cat, right? Imagine if you were still right here. If you never air skilled, you could literally throw a mine here and get like a 3-man mine pop. That'd be huge, right? Like it might seem simple, but misuse of your skill can really negatively impact your games and prevent you and you know, give you a lot of missed opportunities. So yeah, just be really mindful of your skill usage. I'm gonna take a water break real quick because I'm thirsty as fuck. That's good. This is fine. I like this mine. Honestly, I don't even blame you for getting caught by Wolfgang here. I can't fucking see what's happening in here. There's like a fucking Master Cat ult going on. I don't even know. That Wolfgang is just fucking crazy. I would have just reset here. This is really important for Dom. If you're low, like both of your teammates have just died. You yourself are very low HP. And they're only halfway to capping the point. Just die. Just let yourself fall. Because you'll sync your respawn time with your 2 teammates. And then all 3 of you can respawn at full HP. And then go for a retake. And you have enough time too, since they haven't even capped the point yet, right? Like, they probably won't score a point either when you go for your retake. Dominion, it's very important that you reset in Dominion. Dominion is all about tempo, right? You want to match the tempo of the enemy and your own teammates. So if your team dies and you're low, just kill yourself. In game, of course, not in real life. So yeah, not resetting here was kind of a big mistake. Because yeah, like you just don't do anything, right? Like you were never really gonna do anything at 600 HP, and you know, by the time you die, like look, now your team has respawned, but now you're dead for 5 seconds. So now your team has to go in at a 2v3 disadvantage, and it's just not really worth, right? This could have been a 3v3, and like look how low they are too, right? Like if you went in 3v3, this is so free for your team. But now this just kind of makes it a toss up whether your team wins the fight or not. So it's just something to keep in mind for Dominion. Really focus on like resetting. Proper resetting is very important to winning Dominion games. Is that a replay bug? Wait, what? Okay, so this is not Flame. Listen, like sometimes replays bug out. I don't know if this is a replay bug. You know, maybe you've got like some personal issues going on in your life. You got to take it out on your demons. I don't know what's going on here. I feel like I don't need to say it. You know, obviously, don't throw out both of your minds in the air. I don't know what's happening there. That might be a replay bug. Don't do that. Very nice mind. Very nice mind. Get the triple pop. Very nice. Very nice. What the fuck? What is happening in this match? What the fuck is this guy doing? Mastercast is fucking dead, bro. He's fucking dead. What is happening? What is happening in this game? That's silly. Also, this is another thing that people do in Dominion as well. This isn't really like Victor specific, but you know, when you've won the team fight, you don't need to stay on the Dominion point, especially for the Zep map. But this is universal for all maps, right? If you've won the team fight, you know, for Zep map, you can start positioning up here, right? Stand like here, posture up here, so that you can contest the switch fight if anybody comes from spawn to fight switch, right? Like stand up here so you'll already be in position for this fight if that happens, or you can you know, play up here. Play up here, right? You can go check on there's a consumable off the screen here. You can go check if that consumable's up. Maybe it's a bomb, maybe it's a pot, right? You could use a pot right now. Bomb is also always helpful. But you could position up here as well and just start throwing out mines, right? Like I'll mark the mine range in yellow, you know? Like that's roughly the size of a mine. These are going to kind of look like tits. That's fine. But you know, you could be zoning people. You could be zoning off the people that are respawning with your mines, because you don't need to stay on the Dominion point all the time, right? The whole point of Dominion is to just fill up the gauge, right? You just want to capture you just want to fill up the point. So it's really important, right? When you win team fights like this and the tempo is in your team's favor, play up, play aggressive, right? You are the prey right now. Posture in ways that you can play aggressively so that you can basically just play keep away and you prevent the enemy from getting to the point for free, right? Like there's a whole lot of map control that you're giving the enemies for free, and like your entire team should be playing up right now. Like don't concede map control for free. Every second that you can stall the enemy and keep them from getting to your point is huge, right? It's literally game winning in Dominion. That's kind of the whole focus of the mode. So just make sure that you're never like AFK on the Dominion point after you won a team fight. There's always something that you could be doing. Oh, and you do it. What is? Again, I genuinely don't know if this is a replay bug. If it's not, like, really focus on your ground skill usage, especially because you're only running 2 mines. So like. You really don't want to just be throwing your mines at nothing like that. You should have just thrown it at Wolfgang here. Really, I would have placed it here, and I think this is a bot. It looks like, but I would have put a mine here, right? Put a mine here, put a mine here, and then you can basically react to any situation, any way the enemies come. You have a mine to pop for whatever situation arises. There's also just bad positioning now, right? You don't want to, like, put yourself behind the enemy. Like, there's another thing I'm talking about, too, with, like, skill. Oh, did you not even air skill here? Am I tripping right now? You just jumped over here, but this is bad positioning, right? Because now the enemy, you know, is almost on point. I think there's a Master Cat above here. So they basically have the high ground now, and they can fight on point. And now you have to go through the fucking sticky zone, to get to them. And this is all because you just randomly decided to jump over here. You did not need to make this positioning decision. This is just really bad. Like you don't want to put yourself behind the enemy, right? You want to be in front of the enemy. So you get a mine off. I would say too, typically on Victor, you don't want to dry ult like this. Like, it's okay to dry ult, but I think ulting is a lot better if you have a mine there as well. Like, I would have thrown a mine before this. Because he's in the middle, Brick is in the middle of a attack animation here. You could have thrown out a mine, and it would have, like, kind of interrupted it a little bit. I don't think there's hit stun anymore, but... Actually, maybe it wouldn't have, because there's no hit stun. But either way, right, you could have thrown out a mine, and then ulted. You could have used the hyper armor from the ult to guarantee it going off. And just ulting on mines, it just gives you more damage, right? So if you can, just avoid, like, raw ulting. Unless, like, the situation calls for it. There's a few niche situations, like, you know, maybe you need to raw ult to, like, stay on the point or something. The enemy's about to capture it. But, yeah, like in this situation, like, I would have just stepped back a little bit. Like, stand here and, like, move back. Throw out a mine. And then ult, right? Then you just add a bit of damage to it. And you could have even positioned in such a way, like maybe stand over here and throw your mine here, and then Wolfgang walks into it, and then you, because your ult is cone shape, right? You can actually hit both players. You can hit both the Brick and the Wolfgang, because your ult can be really huge. So just don't like raw ult. I think it's a waste in my opinion. This was a good mine. Why didn't you pop that? Why did you jump? Is it because... Oh, yeah. It's a fucking bot, Wolfgang. But yeah, I guess you jumped here because Wolfgang might have turned on you. Like, honestly, throwing mine there was actually really fucking risky. Yeah, that's actually a really bad mine. Just make sure, right, like, you're really vulnerable when you toss your mines. But positioning is really key on Victor. You really kind of want to play Victor... a really good anti-dive, like, support-esque character. You don't really want to be this close to people if you can help it. Like, stand on the edge of the dom point and then just look for mine tosses, right? Because this is, like, really risky positioning. If this wasn't a bot Wolfgang, you'd be dead here. You'd actually just be dead. You would have paid dearly for your positioning. But it's a bot Wolfgang. He goes for the health pot. So it's fine. And yeah, mines don't inflict hit stun anymore. So Master Cat could have actually punished you there. I don't like that air skill necessarily. That's like a really risky air skill. Personally, I would have air skilled like downwards. Let's start the video. I would have air skilled like downwards so that you kind of end up like down here. And then you're not, like, right underneath the Master Cat. Because that air skill put you really close to Master Cat. And, like, he doesn't kill you, but I think he's a bot. I think these are bots. Maybe the Chinese guy is real? Or is that Korean? I think that's Chinese. But, like, if that was, like, a real Master Cat player... Wait, where the fuck am I in the video? Ugh, I don't know where I am. Well, I can't find the video spot. Oh god, it's lagging so bad. What's up with that? Okay, it just decided to fucking break itself. Okay, there we go, we're back. Don't know what that was. Oh, we're actually close. Okay, yeah, here we are. Yeah, if this was a real Master Cat player, like, the moment he saw you doing this, he would have fucking skilled you and comboed you, and you'd be dead. Like I said before, it is super important. I think this is the #1 mistake that Victor players make, is that they just use their air skill in really shit ways, and it will get you punished. Like, when you start fighting real players, you're going to get punished for this. Like, MC's going to come down, he's going to skill, he's going to auto you, you're going to be dead. And then your team's going to be in a 2v3 at, you know, like, very low HP, and you're going to lose this fight. Literally just because of your one air skill. You've really got to think about how you use your air skill and make sure that you use it properly. Thankfully, yeah, he's a bot. He doesn't punish you. Again, this is a terrible air skill. And I should clarify too, none of this is flame. I'm just here to critique. It's all objective. Nothing. This is not like an insult to you as a person. But yeah, this air skill is so bad. Because again, it's just like the MC air skill. You're putting yourself right next to Wolfgang for no reason, dude. And that's the thing. Like, you didn't need to air skill here. Like, what are you air skilling for? Like, are you afraid of Brick? Is Brick that big of a threat? Right now, he's not even within range of you. If he ground skills, his wall comes up to, like, here. And if he jumps, you can just stay on the ground and then walk back accordingly, right? There's no reason for you to be air skilling here. It's just not necessary. So I don't know why you air skill towards Wolfgang. Like, if this was a real player, not a bot, you'd literally be dead right now. You would literally be dead. And it actually does kill you anyways, despite being a bot. And then, yeah, like, your team is in a 2v3. They're all really low. That's nice. Again, this is gonna be like the one thing I repeat most in this video, but you've really got to think about your air skills. That, like, if you can really dial in your air skill usage, you will become a much better Victor player, like, immediately. You don't need to air skill here. Just let yourself touch the ground here, right? Imagine if you're on the ground, you could throw out a mine and you get a fucking triple pop. Right? You literally kill, I think mines do 1200 damage at max level. You kill Wolfgang, and you leave MC at 5 HP. And Brick would be at, what, like 600 HP? Like, that would be the most value fucking mine ever. That'd be so sick. And you could hit it easily. That dream could be reality if you just let yourself touch the ground. Position, you know, a little more passive, right? A little more safe. Victor is a character that kind of wants to stay in the back line. He wants to stay away from people. He's not a fighter. He's not a brawler. He's not a dive character. You know, he wants to stay back and just chuck out mines for poke. And that's what you should have done here. But instead, you know, you air skill, like, right into a crowd of 3 people. And you barely get punished again, but it's because it's bots, right? And I think the bots right now are, like, really kind of reinforcing bad habits. If these were real players, you'd be fucking dead. You'd literally be dead. These people would immediately turn on you. And your ass would be fucking eaten. Like, that's it. GG. Go next. Like, this has put you in such a bad position for no reason. You didn't need to air skill here at all. And yeah, you get knocked off. Getting zoned off. They're bots, so they don't really do anything. They do cap point. That's a nice mine. Nice. And, like, that's, like, this is what you want to do on Victor, right? Like, this is really good. Like, this is what I want you to notice, right? Like, you know, Brick is up here, and you're back here, right? This is how you want to position on Victor, you know? You stay in the back. You stay in the back, you toss out mines, you poke for free. That's how you play the character. You know, you don't need to air skill into 3 people. That's how you lose games. Again, like, you've put yourself behind the enemy, right? You've given the enemy free passage to the Dominion point. Now you're behind the enemy, and you've just air skilled underneath a Master Cat. Why? You didn't need to do this. You didn't need to do this. Like, your positioning is so good here. Your team literally has the Dom point. Like, walk backwards. Play in the back line. Walk backwards. Then throw your mine. There should be a Victor mine where you're standing right now. That should be popping on Master Cat, chunking this guy down. Don't air skill towards him. Like, it's just, this is, your air skill usage is just, this is going to get you punished if you ever, like, decide to play ranked. Like, you're going to throw so many games just off of your air skill usage. Again, like, you don't air skill here. There's 3 brick walls. Don't air skill here. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier, right? Like, I'd air skill, like, up here or, like, down here, right? You don't need to walk. You don't need to air skill directly onto the point. Because if you air skilled in either directions I picked, right, you'd be, like, down here right now, or you'd be up here. and then from these positions you could throw mines onto the point. I probably wouldn't come down here actually, just because again this is kind of an elevation change. And fighting in the sticky zone is generally fucked. Definitely should have air skilled up here. You have a lot of ground to work with, to stand in, to just chuck mines out. But instead you've air skilled into, a brick wall into 2 people. Get knocked off point. Raw ulting again. I'm not a fan of that. You should have just saved ult here. There's no value. You're not getting any value out of this ultimate. Like, yeah, you hit Brick, cool. You did 1,200 damage to a Brick, right? Brick is really tanky. Brick doesn't care that you just ulted him. He's laughing in your face right now because you just wasted your ult. Just save your ult, right? You really want to think about your ult usage as well. And typically combine it with mines, right? Because you get so much damage. You can literally do, with 1 or 2 mines and an ult, Victor can do 5,000 damage with the right abilities as well. The character's not fucking balanced. The character's really insane. This is good if you... Yeah, perfect, right? Perfect. This is what I'm talking about. You are just, you're positioned right here in kind of the back line, and you can just, chuck mines out. This is how you play Victor, right? You're safe away from the enemies. You throw out your mines, you pop them. That's perfect. What? Throw a mine for Wolfgang. You see Wolfgang coming, right? Your team right now is dealing with Brick. They don't need help. Throw out a mine here so that Wolfgang gets zoned by it, right? If you throw out a mine there, now look at what Wolfgang has to do. He either has to challenge this mine and probably get punished for it, or he has to spend more time walking around. But you don't need to throw a mine to help your team in this case, because they got it under control. It's just Brick, and he's in the sticky zone. You don't need to help Brick. Throw the mine out for Wolfgang. And so, grats. I mean, you won the game. A lot of mistakes, though. Yeah, I guess to just really kind of go over what I talked about, I would say really focus on your mine usage in general. Kind of focus on your target prioritization, because there were a few instances in this game where you're kind of throwing mines in weird directions and at people that you don't really need to be focusing, like this Brick example. If I can ever find it in the video. So it's way further back. But yeah, focus on your target prioritization, and focus on your air skill usage, right? You really, air skill is literally just used for if in this game, if Wolfgang is diving you air skill backwards, right? If this is... I'm gonna get the right colors. If this X is Wolfgang and you're the circle, if Wolfgang starts diving at you, then you can air skill away, right? But air skill is not used for going into the middle of an entire team. That's just not what it's for. You don't want to ever really air skill towards people. Ever since that end lag nerf on air skill, you can't really play Victor in that way. You will get punished if you play against real players, and you will lose. So yeah, really, the next time you play Victor, don't focus on winning or losing for a few games. I want you to just focus on proper skill usage, proper air skill usage. And for the final thing, right, focus on not ulting raw. Don't do raw ults, right? Try to combo your ultimate with your mines. You'll get a lot more damage, and yeah, you'll just get a lot more damage. And your positioning as well needs work. I would say remember Victor plays best as a kind of backliner anti-dive support character. So typically how you want to position. I actually have a clip I can show you. From one of my scrims today. you'll see here in this game, right? Like, notice my positioning, right? Like, I have my two teammates in front, and I'm playing back, right? I'm playing back. We've kind of formed this triangle formation. And part of the reason we do this, right, is because if any of their legends, right, let's look at their comp real quick. They have Red, they have Rap, and they have Kurenai. They have a lot of dive. And so if any of their characters go in on these two teammates that are in front, I can then react with a mine throw. I can throw out a mine and punish their dive and kind of, help out my team that way. And so this is how you want to position in your games as Victor, right? You want to be behind your team most of the time. Unless there's a window of opportunity where you can play aggro, then you can obviously take that chance. But most of the time, right, you're playing Victor in the back. And so if I play this video, right, see, like, just really take note of my positioning, right? Like, I'm letting my two teammates be in front. I'm playing back so that if anybody dives them, I can easily respond with the mine toss and pop it. And we will see it happen. Right? Rap throws out her stun. So she's kind of used up her turn. You can kind of imagine the game. Imagine Smash Legends is like a turn-based game. Rap has taken her turn using her ground skill. So now it's my turn to play. And I immediately retaliate with a mine toss. And Hook actually shoots her here. If Hook hadn't shot her, this mine would have hit her. But Hook shoots her away. I still actually catch people out because they're gonna dive, right? Like I said, like, they're running a dive heavy comp. So you can see Kurenai comes in, and because I was playing far back and I was safe, Kurenai is gonna dive straight into these mines and take a fuck ton of damage. And I actually get ult here too. And notice how I'm combining ult with mine. And Kurenai, like, I don't even know what the fuck is happening. They're blowing up, right? Look at all the damage. Kurenai's got 1500 HP now. How much did he have before? He was full HP, right? He went from 4800 to 1500. Literally just because of my positioning and because I comboed my ult with my mine. And this is really, like, this is just, again, like I've said it before, but, like, Victor should be played as, like, an anti-dive backliner support character. These are the situations where Victor really excels. Play behind your team. When people go in on your team, then you go in with your mines, right? Just think of it as a turn-based game. Wait for the enemy to take a turn on your teammates, and then you take your turn on the enemy. And you just get huge poke. Huge poke. Like, Victor's damage is not fucking balanced. Like, look at this. Rap and Kurenai are both full HP before this engagement. And then they do their dive. Oh, I guess Rap's not full HP, actually. My mistake. But just look how fucking low they get, bro. So yeah. That's how you want to play Victor. Play Victor more passive. Play him in the backline. Punish enemy mistakes. Focus on your air skill usage. Do not air skill into the enemy. Use it in situations where you are being dove, where you are being pressured, and you need to escape. Or you can use it for, like, repositioning, but again, don't air skill towards the enemy. Focus as well on, like, where you are putting your mines, who you are attacking, and run the correct abilities. That would be the one that gives you 3 stacks of your mine, and the one that lets you buff your teammates. Those are the best abilities. Hopefully you learned something from this. If you have any questions, right, leave them down below in the comments, or you can reach out to me on Discord. I will be happy to elaborate on anything if I need to. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for reaching out to me. I appreciate you sending a VOD to me, and I hope that you have a good evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are. Take care.